Hello, Form 1 students. Welcome to our business studies lesson. And in today's lesson, we'll be looking at a new topic under the title Home Trade. I'm your teacher, Mr. Wanyoike from Hill Girls High School. You're welcome. Our objectives are as follows. By the end of this topic, you should be able to 1. Explain the meaning and importance of trade. 2. Classify trade. 3. Explain the forms of home trade. Number 4. Discuss the types and functions of retailers. Number 5. Discuss the types and functions of wholesalers. Number 6. Describe the documents used in home trade. Number 7. Explain the meaning the means of payment used in home trade and the circumstances in which they are used. Number 7, explain the terms of payment used in home trade and the circumstances in which they are used. Dear student, when you talk about trade, we are referring to the buying and the selling of goods and services with an aim of making a profit. I'm sure maybe today or yesterday you went to a shop or you went to a nearby hawker or a trader and you bought something, or your parent went to the supermarket and did some shopping for you or for the family, and that was trade taking place. Let us now look at the importance of trade. A. Trade helps people to acquire what they might not be able to produce. The reason why you went to the shop is because whatever you wanted cannot be made within your home, and because someone else has made it, then you go and purchase it. You are able to acquire what you don't have because trade facilitated the availability of whatever you wanted. Number 2, trade avails a variety of goods and services for consumers to choose from. When you go to a shop or to a supermarket, you'll find various items meeting the same need. For instance, if you want to buy soap, then you'll go for your favorite type or brand. The shopkeeper or the owner of the supermarket, through trade, has made sure that all the types of soaps, all the types of cooking oils, all the types of body oils for your lotions, they are available for you to choose from. So whatever you feel like, whatever your taste is, then you can be able to choose a variety because trade has facilitated the availability of all those brands. Number C, trade helps producers to dispose of their surplus or excess goods which might go to waste or lead to high storage costs. Say, for instance, a maize farmer who is doing large-scale maize farming may not be able to store all that maize for his family use. So he has to export or has to sell off the extras or the surplus production. Otherwise, it will mean they'll have to feed on that huge quantity, which definitely will go to waste, or incur huge costs in terms of storing the extra amount of harvest. And therefore, trade helps to dispose of or to distribute whatever extra has been produced. The same way with a dairy farmer who has maybe 3 or 4 cows, the family may not be able to consume all that milk on daily basis, and therefore they have to sell it out to avoid wastage. Importance number D, it creates employment. Trade, or during trade, many people work as salespeople, drivers, guards, accountants, managers, and so on. And when they do this work, they are paid and they earn a living. Trade encourages specialization and division of labor, hence improving the quality of products produced in the market. Remember, in our previous term, we discussed specialization of labor and its division when you're talking about labor and production. And therefore, I hope you remember what they were. So when people are specialized, when they do what they can do best, then they produce the best product or the best service. Importance number F, trade promotes social relations and understanding among the trading parties. See, for example, your family and the shopkeeper knew your estate, then you're in good terms. You know her or you know him, and your family members respect that person, and you have become friends because you've been buying from them and they know you through trade. So that one is promoting social relations. The same thing will happen when two countries trade. They end up becoming international friends, and therefore they want to treat one another very well because they are depending on each other for particular items. Importance number G, trade provides revenue to the business people and the government. Revenue means income or whatever profits are earned. The business people are able to get some income to improve their livelihoods. For the government, traders pay taxes, and when they pay taxes, the government gets enough funds or money to cater for its needs, such as funding education, funding health, and so on. Importance number H, trade ensures steady supply of goods and services to the citizens of a country or to consumers. So trade ensures that in your nearby shop, there is always bread, there is always soap, and products are there. All types are there near you every time. And therefore, through trade, you don't go to that shop and then you're told, you ask for something, you're told it's not there. You ask for another one, you're told it's not there. You go to the next shop, the same thing. No. You go to that shop, you're told, okay, the supply is over, but in the next shop, you're able to get it. This ensures there is steady supply of goods and services to the customers. Let us now look at the classification of trade. Now, depending on the geographical location of where trade is taking place, then trade can be classified as home trade or international trade. So we start with home trade. Home trade, which is also called internal trade or local trade or domestic trade, refers to the buying and selling of goods and services within the boundaries of a given country. See, for example, within Kenyan boundaries, within Ugandan boundaries, and so on. And home trade is further divided into retail trade and wholesale trade. We'll be looking at each of them later on. Below are two photographs of someone selling bread, another one is selling fruits within a country. These are examples of home trade. The next category of trade, according to the geographical categorization, is international trade. International trade is also known as foreign trade. And this is trade that is carried out beyond the boundaries of a given country. For example, Kenya can trade with Uganda, Kenya can trade with Tanzania, Kenya can trade with Botswana, Kenya can trade with China, and so on. The trade that is carried out between individuals of a country and of individuals of a country and another country, or of what between one government and another government, then we'll be referring to as international trade. So if, for example, a Kenyan citizen goes to Uganda to buy items, or a Ugandan citizen come to Kenya to buy items, then that is international trade taking place. If the government of Kenya goes to Uganda to purchase items, then that is international trade. Trade between two countries is called or is referred to as bilateral trade. Bilateral trade. That is trade between two countries. The word, the abbreviation, the first two letters bi means two. Bilateral trade. Trade between two countries. And if there are three or more countries that are trading amongst themselves, say Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, they are all doing trade together, then that one we call it multilateral trade. Multi for many, multilateral trade. That is trade that is done by more than two countries. The photos in this page depicts international trade taking place. Photo number 1 is a cargo train exporting goods from Kenya to Uganda. Photo number 2 is a cargo ship importing goods from China to Kenya. Photo number 3 is a cargo plane exporting goods to another country from Kenya. And photo number 4 is the same plane being loaded with cargo at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. When you talk about international trade, there are two activities that will be taking place, or there are two classifications of activities or trade that will take place. Either the country will be buying goods from another country that is importing, or the country will be selling goods to another country that is exporting. So, international trade is classified into two. One, export trade. This is where a country sells goods to another country or even services to another country. And number 2, we have import trade. This is where a country buys goods or services from another country, or it can also be individuals buying goods from another country. That is import trade. So dear student, we can classify trade in a flowchart as follows. We have said trade is basically divided into two branches, that is home trade and international trade. Home trade is also called local trade or domestic trade, whereas international trade is where trade takes place between the boundaries of two or more countries. Remember, we said we have bilateral trade for international trade between two countries, and multilateral trade for trade that is involving two or more than two countries. For home trade is further divided into two: retail trade and wholesale trade. International trade is categorized into two: import trade and export trade. Dear student, we have come to the end of our lesson today. If you have any question, it is time to ask your question now, or you can post it in our WhatsApp platform. And below our contacts, if you have any question or any assistance that we need, you can always call the numbers given in the next slide. Have a blessed day.